We've got potential casting news for Matt Reeves' The Batman sequel to talk about on today's edition of Movie News Daily. Let's get into it. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back into JC's Movies, where you can see all kind of movie and TV show content with me, JC, especially if we're talking superhero, horror, comedy. Today we're talking a good bit of superheroes. We have a couple of those topics here in Movie News Daily, which today is our January 6th edition, as we're bringing you Monday through Friday movie news each day of the week here. So if you haven't yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can get these Movie News Daily videos directly into your feed every day of the week. We'll still have multiple coming at you throughout the rest of the week, but this one should be a fun one. A lot of fun topics to discuss, in my opinion. But if you're a fan of movies and want to talk movies, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And while you're in here watching, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button as well. That helps the tone with that YouTube algorithm. That'll help us find more movie fans like me and you. And that way we can continue to grow this community here, the JC's Movies community on YouTube, and we can all talk movies together, have some fun. And speaking of that, let's dive in and have some fun talking movie news here on today's edition of Movie News Daily. All right, let's not bury the lead here, because this is the big thing that I mentioned in the cold open there, and Deadline is the one that just dropped this breaking news not long ago. We've been waiting for Batman sequel news. Matt Reeves' The Batman. Absolutely loved it. A lot of people really did. It was a big hit. We've been wondering about the sequel. It's been delayed time and time again, but some potential bright spots here is we've heard that the script has been done, and now we're getting casting news, and it's a good one. Sebastian Stan in talks for the Batman 2 role opposite Robert Pattinson. And I do think it's kind of funny, though, that we already have Scarlett Johansson. Now we're going to get Sebastian Stan. Got the former MCU actors coming into the DC Elseworlds universe here for the Matt Reeves Batman universe. But it's an exclusive here from Deadline. Like I said, after landing Scarlett Jo for the new role in the Batman Part 2, Matt Reeves looked to snag another one of the Avengers co-stars. Deadline says that Sebastian Stan is in talks to join the highly anticipated DC Studio sequel in a role which is unknown. If a deal closes, he would join Robert Pattinson, who's set to reprise his role as the Caped Crusader that Reeves is writing and directing. And what we do know about the Batman Part 2, other than that thus far, is that they are set to start production in the spring and will open in theaters in October of 2027 is the target release date. James Gunn, Peter Safran producing along with Dylan Clark, like we said there. Matt Reeves writing and directing, but I have seen some speculation online about Sebastian Stan maybe being Harvey Dent, and if that was the case, I'd be all for that. But anything that this ends up being, I think, is going to be good. I think you've got two really good actors to put in there alongside Robert Pattinson. Will they both be playing villains? I don't know. That remains to be seen. I'm sure we'll still get Colin Farrell back as the Penguin in some capacity in this, which the Penguin show was phenomenal. But I'm really excited for the Batman sequel, and getting Sebastian Stan in here just made that shoot up a little bit even higher. And I think that if he is indeed Harvey Dent, I think that's really good casting, and I would like to see Sebastian Stan as Two-Face. Well, continuing on with our superhero theme again, this also from Deadline, the latest Avengers Doomsday teaser. If you haven't watched it, go check it out, man. Super awesome stuff. You know, it had leaked online, and I was like, I really hope that one's real, because to me, the original X-Men trilogy, as much as you loved it because it was, you know, kind of one of the first superhero blockbuster things that we had, right? But I thought, especially in X-Men The Last Stand, they really did a service to James Marsden's Cyclops, and to get to see him come back and get to see some of those X-Men characters in the MCU now is huge. Something we've all been waiting for a long time, getting the Fantastic Four and the X-Men in here, and you get it in the latest Avengers Doomsday teaser, which of course is releasing December 18th, 2026. The Russo brothers back, the X-Men coming in, the Fantastic Four coming in, Chris Evans back as Cap, Chris Hemsworth back as Thor, Robert Downey Jr. now playing Doctor Doom. A lot of stuff to be excited about for this movie, and I'm not even that big of a Marvel fan. You guys know I lean more DC, but this is going to be really exciting, although it's still up in the air for me which one I'll go see first between Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday, with them both having that same release date in December 18th of 2026. Next up from Deadline again, we got a streaming premiere date for Black Phone 2, which is going to be on Peacock. And Black Phone 2, of course, directed by Scott Derrickson, set to release on January 16th on Peacock. So if you haven't seen this yet, you'll be able to watch it in your home if you got Peacock in just about a week's time. I guess about 10 days from today here. This today's version of Movie News Daily. So January 16th, look for Black Phone 2 on Peacock. And then speaking of Peacock, it sounds like things are going to look and sound better when you stream them there as well. This also from Deadline is Peacock's integrating Dolby picture and sound technology, calling it a streaming first. And so they're integrating Dolby's full set of picture and sound technology. They announced it Monday in Las Vegas, and they said this initiative is designed to make Pay One movies from Universal, marquee live sports more engaging, and the Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos will be rolled out later this year on live sporting events on Peacock, which is also integrating Dolby 2 and Dolby AC4 after the launch later in 2026. So, hey, hats off to Peacock. Maybe some streaming improvements there, and it'll sound and look a little bit better on Peacock moving forward. And then I know a lot of people were really big fans of the movie The Housemaid, and I think it did so well that they're fast-tracking a sequel, it looks like here. This also from Deadline. Lionsgate greenlighting the Housemaid sequel for 2026 production start. Sydney Sweeney being eyed to return to the film. Says it's been in development for the past few months. Sweeney eyeing to return to star and executive produce. Co-star Michelle Morone also looking to reprise, and Paul Feig could return to direct a script again. So could get everyone back, it sounds like, for the sequel, which looks like is on the fast track to start production this coming year already. So they'll probably have this thing out in 2027 within a couple of years there. And then just lastly, this just came out recently from Variety for the wrestling fans out there. The full WWE library, including WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and more, heads to Netflix. Like I said, this is from Variety. And Netflix is now the home of the WWE library in the U.S. Non-exclusive deal expands the partnership between Netflix and WWE, which we know the live show started there last year. But I think where it says non-exclusive, I think it's still going to be on Peacock as well. But now Netflix is going to have a lot of the pay-per-views, a lot of the documentaries and stuff, I'd say, as well, that you can find on Peacock. But definitely sounds like the pay-per-views for sure, as it mentions, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble are going to be available on Netflix. Yep, there it is. Additionally, Netflix will stream WWE's documentaries and other programming. So all of that coming to Netflix. So whether you have Netflix or Peacock, if you're a wrestling fan, you're covered. So wanted to highlight that here as we wrap up on this edition of Movie News Daily. So there you have it. January 6th edition of Movie News Daily in the books. A lot of fun topics there. Excitement continues to build for Avengers Doomsday. And we're actually seeming like we're finally coming to see the Batman Part 2 come to fruition finally, after being such long awaited, so many delays. And maybe all that's going to be worth it with some of the casting news that's starting to come out about that. I'm super excited about it personally anyway, but would love to hear your thoughts on anything covered today in Movie News Daily. Drop it in the comment section down below. Always appreciate those interactions as we continue to try and grow the JC's Movies community here on YouTube, and I'll continue to talk some movies together. Appreciate you tuning into this one. I will catch you on the next one.